like to listen that sound. So I wait until I finish that sound. Oh, tango do je je sun ro jun ya ma do de ja pon jon ba sur ja lom ba ta bro je ba ga chu je ja ba ja dang go za dur jin chen chen du lo na ro dai ma ba ma la chu ja gam bo ba ba ma zhe ba ja wan zhe gong ba ga ju la ma nan ju da jong je da na da na zhe ra tam je de la ma lo ba la ye je so老僧用电将真阿拉万，点着东京着白给来做，大概罗去算着玩生家拉的事儿，去南等着玩生家拉的事儿，南着玩西玩生家拉的事儿，着玩一些三家玩生家拉的事儿，刚给点见着玩将嘎巴没把接，没把接把没把打没把。我没帮助，没把他的多面东西没，只把你是些点把做不上去，马上就当把的老上这儿的，真正做不了嘛，就接故上都就是让他的那个巨烂背的，那个等把当时节交通家境帮着把生节老的说。Dear Dharma brothers and sisters, it is a privilege to be with you again. I always expect that when I'm with you, I will not come empty-handed. But I'm not sure what you most prefer having. My side, I think to bring Bodhicitta is the best gift for you, because you can create many pure lines through your Bodhicitta. You can make such a lovely family through the practice of Bodhicitta. You enjoy a beautiful, expensive mind of Bodhicitta. Wherever you go, wherever you live, you can be a source of peace and happiness through your practice of Bodhicitta. At the very least, you can make me happy through your Bodhicitta. For that reason, I'm teaching this text. Today is verse 31. It says, "The precious gem of Bodhicitta does not discriminate between rich and poor, does not differentiate between wise and foolish. It benefits equally the higher and low." As this verse mentions, Bodhicitta is a great equalizer, because before practicing Bodhicitta, we develop equanimity and equanimity is the ground of bodhicitta. So when bodhisattvas generate bodhicitta, they do so equally for all, from aunts to their parents. Equality does not only apply to others. You must also apply it to yourself. When something good happens, don't get very excited. And when you lose something small, don't become despondent. If you can remain balanced in equanimity, then small problems cannot affect you. Actually, from the Buddhist view, all problems are small problems, because each of these problems can be fixed by our way of thinking. A problem is also impermanent, so it comes on suddenly and can disappear suddenly. If it does not disappear suddenly, it will get solved. But some problems get harder and harder because our grasping makes them harder. Whether problems are harder or soft, the best way to solve them is through bodhicitta. That's why all problems are small. Next is verse 32. Bodhicitta, the seed of a Buddha, cause one to engage through thought and practice in the benefit of the 6 kinds of wandering beings, without discriminating country, time, or occasion. The words of Bodhisattva are spoken to benefit others. The activities of Bodhisattvas are done to benefit others. The minds of Bodhisattvas are always turned towards benefiting others. That's why Bodhicitta is the seed of Buddhahood. Bodhisattvas generate bodhicitta regardless of the time. They do not think, I will generate bodhicitta today, but not tomorrow, or this month, but not next month. So, I often say you should be mindful of bodhicitta. There are few steps. The first step to be mindful of bodhicitta is you should promise once a day. For example, when you wake up in the morning, You make a commitment that today I will arouse Bodhicitta as much as I can. And then slowly that commitment will become unforgettable. For instance, when you get up from your bed, you will not forget to brush your teeth. At that moment, you are ready to practice the second step of mindfulness of Bodhicitta, which is to suddenly notice that unexpected blossoming of Bodhicitta in your mind. For example, when you sit down on your chair, uh, you remember Bodhicitta and let it blossom. And then when you stand up again, remember Bodhicitta and let it blossom. The third step is to be mindful continuously, like the flowing of a river. Next is verse 33. For raising your spirits when you are down. For removing arrogance when you are flush. Nothing in the world compares with the non-deceiving friend, that is Bodhicitta. Our minds are like spring weather. By this, I mean happy and unhappy mixed, moment by moment. When you experience unhappiness, Bodhicitta is the best antidote. You may hope that your friends or family can help you, and sometimes they may be able to, but you cannot depending on them 100%. Even if they may want to help you, they will not able to every time. They will not be able to every time. But you can rely on Bodhicitta to make you happy all the time. Even if you are the bathroom, Bodhicitta comes there. But however close your loved one are, they cannot be with you in bathroom. If you say this is not true, I agree. Sometimes they can, but what I'm trying to explain is your close ones will not be able to come with you when you pass away. But Bodhicitta can, especially when you are alone in the bardo. Bodhicitta comes with you in the bardo, and it helps Buddhas to appear to you. I mean, during the bardo, your bodhicitta is like a clean mirror. On the surface, all the Buddhas, yidams, appear. And then your bodhicitta transforms into Buddhas and yidam deities. When Buddhas and the yidam deities appear to you, then there is no way for fears and suffering to arise. In short, your bardo experience will become pure light. Also, bodhicitta helps you to remove your arrogance. Maybe you have a big question: why do I need to remove my arrogance? The arrogance is like a balloon. If you keep putting air into it, it will pop. Similarly, if you are puffed up by a little knowledge or some small wealth, then it is difficult for you to learn more, and then you are easily prone to jealous. Next is verse 34. However, many examples there are for its benefit. Though they may capture certain modes of meditation, they cannot bear comparison with a portion of amazing bodhicitta, even in a dream. If someone collected everything that is of a benefit together, these benefits cannot equal the benefit of bodhicitta, because the benefit of bodhicitta is pure, deep, and endless. When bodhicitta arises in your mind, even for a moment, in that moment, you will become a heart son or daughter of the Buddhas. Even worldly treasure without bodhicitta cannot accomplish this. So you know how valuable is bodhicitta. If in the waking state you arouse bodhicitta, then you will receive unequaled benefits. Likewise, in your dreams, if you arouse bodhicitta, it is more beneficial than any other kind. of dream. Okay, sorry. The next is verse 35. Like gold that does not fluctuate. Yeah, fluctuate. Relative to prosperity and poverty. The supreme test of Bodhicitta puts even ambrosia to shame. Ambrosia to shame. 35, yes. If you practice Bodhicitta honestly, then your mind cannot be changed by any afflictive emotions. In difficult situations, you can maintain a cheerful disposition. People's harsh words will easily melt in your mind like butter over a hot fire. So practicing Bodhicitta is greater than the being patient. Because when we practice patience, we block the negativity from entering our minds. But with Bodhicitta, we let it enter and melt away. Bodhicitta is like gold because no matter what it is mixed with or covered by, whether clean or unclean, it remains unchanged. Next is verse 36. The supreme thing to know is Bodhicitta. The supreme thing to learn is Bodhicitta. The supreme thing to practice is Bodhicitta. The supreme thing to meditate on is Bodhicitta. This is very true. If you are parents, then give this advice to children since they are kids. During childhood, parents' advices are very influential. If you are not parents, still you can advise your friends regarding Bodhicitta. If you are a teacher in a school, when you can instruct the student about Bodhicitta. This is very important because students are the future decision makers. So if they have bodhicitta in their minds, it will have a great benefit, especially in keeping peace in the world. If you are a spiritual master, giving teaching on bodhicitta is extremely important because disciples' practice needs to be combined with bodhicitta. When they recite a single mala of mantra, whether it has benefit or not depends on the presence of bodhicitta. When they visualize wrathful yadam deities, if they do not combine it with bodhicitta, it is hard to accomplish the yadams. If they are accomplished without bodhicitta, then it can lead to faults like arrogance, and it is possible for it to be used to harm others. If they use their practice for harming others, then what is the benefit of practice? The best object of meditation is bodhicitta. There are different types of meditation. We have different paths for improving bodhicitta. As your bodhicitta improves, it becomes Buddha. Next is verse 37. As a river to the sea, as the sea to the clouds, as clouds to the land, so does bodhicitta beautify this world. It's sweet, right? I hope you are enjoying with this verse more than my explanations. Among beauty, inner beauty is the most beautiful. One quality of beauty is that it attracts others' attention. If there is no bodhicitta, which is inner beauty, then beauty alone cannot hold others' attention very long. But inner beauty can hold others' attention for always. For example, the Buddha who passed away thousands of years ago still captures our attention today through his inner beauty of bodhicitta. So if you already have outer beauty, and you also have Bodhicitta, you become very attractive and make others' minds happy, like the sun and rain coming together to make a rainbow. When a rainbow appears, people get busy taking pictures and looking at it. Have you ever did that? I did that many times. Still, I would like to do. The third tip, the 32 major marks and 80 minor marks decorate the Buddha's outer form, and Bodhicitta adorns his mind. So bodhisattvas are always busy praising and visualizing him instead of taking pictures. Next is verse 38. A jewel mind, a wish-fulfilling cow, a bench to stop and rest for those who tread the path, more excellent than the finest medicine. Bodhicitta is proclaimed supreme. Bodhicitta is like a treasure of jewels because it accomplishes people's wish. Bodhicitta is like a wish-fulfilling cow. Once there was a wish-fulfilling cow. She gave milk unlimitedly. And also, we offer wish-fulfilling cow in the 37-point mandala. Bodhicitta is like excellent medicine. It heals the sickness of afflictive emotions, and especially it prevents grasping and ignorance in the mirror of Buddha nature. And Bodhicitta is like a park bench because it allows to rest as we move through the Buddha's stages. If practitioners don't have park bench of Bodhicitta, they would not have ability to achieve Buddhahood. Because Bodhicitta is power, courage, Okay, next is verse 39. If you wish to proceed proceed, proceed, proceed easily to the level of the knowledge of all modes of meditation. What other method is there if you do not rely upon the Bodhicitta of the victorious children? With the right way of practicing Bodhicitta, we can attain Buddhahood quickly. So we have to practice it. Bodhicitta is the cause of Buddhahood. So without practicing it, no one can become a Buddha. Like a prince who will become the king, the Bodhisattvas will become Buddha. If you would like to become a king, then first you have to be born a prince. So it is quite difficult to become a king in this life. We can hope for a better chance in the next life. if you like. But we can become Buddha in this life. Whether your parents are royalty or beggars, it does not matter. If you are old or young, and male or female, there is no any single difference. On the other hand, out of all the things, we may have the opportunity to become the easiest opportunity is to become Buddha. Next is verse 40. The waxing Bodhicitta moon that caused to swell the joyful ocean of altruistic intentions and so on, puts even the cooling nighttime moon to shame. When the moon appears, the ocean waters swell joyfully. This is poetic language. So the real moon moves the ocean waters. But the moon of Bodhicitta makes ocean of altruistic intention swell joyfully. So the real moon cannot compete with the moon of Bodhicitta. But sometimes we can imagine when we see the moon that shines the light of Bodhicitta and think, may I become like the moon and help mother thinking beings as the moon does. For example, when you see the moon in the night time, it removes darkness. You acknowledge that and then generate Bodhicitta and think, may I be able to help living beings. Whoever is working and walking in the night time. Maybe owl, right? Owl does not include there because they can see in the night time without moonlight. But then you generate compassion instead of bodhicitta for them because they're running for food maybe in the night. As the moon increases from the first day to 15th, so to may all mothers beings happiness increase through my practice of bodhicitta. If you practice through this way, then the moon is become your spiritual teacher because it teaches you bodhicitta. Okay, the next is verse 41. This bodhicitta that serves as a sword to cut the shoots of the afflictions is the weapon for the protection of all wandering beings. Okay. If afflictions inherently existed, then right now, when we try to practice in order to reduce them, it would be useless. Buddha himself would not have tried to remove them, and he would not have taught us how to dispel them. But he recognized that the afflictions do not exist inherently, and they are ready to disappear like a butter lamps in the winds, in the strong winds. And then the Buddha utilized many methods for overcoming afflictions. Among them, the best method he found was bodhicitta. He became enlightened through the practice of bodhicitta. After that, Buddha taught us this method with his unfathomable love and wisdom. So now, if we practice employing his advice, then there is no doubt that we can cut the shoots of afflictions. We have afflictions and bodhicitta both. So why is it necessary to cut off the afflictions? We need to, because they create suffering and push us into the lower realms. If afflictive emotions helped us, we would not by now, since we have used them and we have lots of experience. But your experiences are suffering with them. So now it is time to be liberated from these emotions. Are you ready? Okay. Next is verse 42. Without arrogance when things go well. No depressed when times are hard. Unharmable by anything. This Bodhicitta gold. When we practice Bodhicitta, the suffering has no space to stay, because Bodhicitta is like the sunlight. When sunlight appears, the darkness has no space to stay. That we know, right? Light and darkness are by natural opposites. Likewise, the bodhicitta and afflictive emotions are opposites. As this verses say, when we have wealth, we should not be arrogant, but think we have received this wealth through our merit. And this wealth is for offering and generosity. So there's no chance to become arrogant. And also, bodhicitta is our greatest wealth. When we have that, then even if only through our good words and kind smile, we are able to be of benefit. If we don't have bodhicitta, even if we possess wealth as vast, the nagas, we cannot help others. Not only can we not help others, but our wealth cannot even benefit ourselves. Sometimes it even becomes cause of suffering because of our greed. Bodhicitta is also our best friend. When we have bodhicitta, then the feeling of loneliness disappears, because we conceive of all mother thinking beings as our friends. Bodhicitta gives us strength of mind, so we do not become lost under sadness or other negative feelings. Next is verse 43. This tremendous conflagration of bodhicitta that burns the seasoned firewood of the three kinds of afflictions does not act like ordinary fire. The three afflictions exist like a pepper near a fire. But real fire cannot burn them. Even if you burned your body, still they would remain because they do not exist in the body. It's very important. Keep in your mind. Let you keep in your mind. They exist in the mind. I will give you an example which comes from scientists. Scientist. Some stars have died millions of years ago, but their light still comes towards us. Likewise, if your body has burned away many years ago, still your afflictions move with your mind. We know sometimes ordinary fire is very powerful. It can burn trees, houses, people, and animals. But it cannot burn the afflictions because they are not the wood for ordinary fires. They are fuel for the fire of bodhicitta. They are the wood for the fire of bodhicitta. But sometimes fire burns old vegetation, and later fresh new plants appears. Likewise, bodhicitta burns away affliction, and then love, compassion, and wisdom grow in the ground of our mind. Okay. Next is verse 44. If you ask what is the sweetest sound in the world, even if many refined people were to investigate it, I don't think you will hear anything about the world Bodhicitta. Do you understand? I will read again for you. If you ask what is the test sound in the world. Even if many refined people were to investigate it, I don't think you will hear anything but the word Bodhicitta. It means the word Bodhicitta is sweetest sound, sweetest sound. Among the Buddha's powers is the ability to transform. What is it? Unapplying food into supremely delicious nectar. This power comes from his Bodhicitta. If we want to please the Buddhas, we can only do it through Bodhicitta. Right now, we think sugar cane and honey are very pleasant tastes more than Bodhicitta because we have not experienced the taste of Bodhicitta. Anyhow, when we utilize our five senses and apprehend their objects, we should be mindful of Bodhicitta. When our eyes see a beautiful flower, then we can transform our eye consciousness into Bodhicitta. For example, whatever we see, at that time we should think, may everything I see become as beautiful as this flower, and whoever sees this flower, may this flower make them happy like it does my mind. Then you can do the same thing that other sense objects. If you recognize ultimate Bodhicitta, then there is no object of five sins. But your realization is the supreme object of your five sins, which means you can test your realization. Your realization is the excellent test. So, Milarepa said that there's no real drink. But if you realize this true nature, then your realization is the supreme delicious nectar of Bodhicitta. Okay. 46. Did I read 45? I did. Oh, sorry. I think I made big mistakes. I did not read 44. Okay, so I little bit made a mistake there. Sorry. If you ask what is the sweetest sound in the world, even if many refined people were to investigate it, I don't think you will hear anything but the words of Bodhicitta. This is 44. So there, I mixed up other verse. So there are many melodious sounds. Among them, the sound of Bodhicitta is most pleasant. How do we know? We know it from our it. For instance, the sound of a mother cooling her baby. At that moment, how gentle and sweet is her voice. Her voice comes from her love. But that love is still limited. If her voice has this beauty, then how much more beautiful and sweet is the deeper love of Bodhicitta. For us Buddhists, all the Dharma teachings are the sound of Bodhicitta. So the sound of all Dharma is melodious. If we give a small example, if you are going through the sand, right? Sand of a desert in 115 degree, and suddenly you heard the sound of running water, wouldn't that sound sweet to you? That's why no matter how many times knowledgeable people analyze, they cannot find a sweeter sound than the sound of Bodhicitta. There are many sweet sounds of Bodhicitta. Among them, I would like to tell you only one. That is, you can purify all of your suffering by yourself without spending any money and other precious things, and you will achieve state of happiness. Okay, then we already finished the 45, right? Oh, good. I jumped 45. It's next time. Today Sunday and 44, 45. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I mixed up page number and verses number. So that's happened. Jeez. Still there. Those who wish for liberation should keep this. 46. Okay. Oh, now this is 46, right? Those who wish for liberation should keep to these through road of Bodhicitta that leads to the city of non-abiding nirvana, fully neither to the extreme of the world nor to the extreme of peace. Even if you are a diligent practitioner, still it is possible that your practice will lead you to different realms. For example, if you don't have bodhicitta and compassion, and you only practice wrathful worldly deities, then they will lead you to the hungry ghost realm, and so on. And if you stay for a long time in a cave without practicing bodhicitta and compassion, then it will be hard for you to liberate yourself from the animal realms. So if you cannot practice bodhicitta and compassion exclusively, then you have to combine your practices with love and compassion. If you recite only a single Mani mantra compassionately, it could lead you to the excellent path. Bodhicitta and compassion are like a smooth and a vast paved road. Especially in the instruction of bodhicitta, it does not say you must reject worldly things, but it instructs that if needed, you can keep worldly things honestly and kindly for mutual benefit. So here, this verse says, fully neither to the extreme of world nor to the extreme of peace. Through combine worldly acts with bodhicitta, it will not stay you in the samsara long, because of you are acting with bodhicitta. The reason is when you engage in the worldly activities, your mind is pure of attachment and aversion. Attachment and aversion are like a line and a hook drawn you into the net of samsara. But don't worry, the net of samsara is a magical net. The knife of bodhicitta can cut it easily and liberate you. Okay. Next is verse 47. Though there are many things like ketaka that clear away impurities from water, it is hard to find anything other than bodhicitta to clear away impurities of the afflictions. Ketaka is a jewel. Maybe it helps to make clear the water, but I don't have knowledge about that. But here we don't want to clear the water. We want to purify our afflictions. Bodhicitta is necessary for purifying afflictions. Here I will tell you how bodhicitta purifies. It purifies grasping like this. Egoistic mind always thinks I, and bodhicitta always thinks others. Thinking of others and thinking of I are completely opposite. Currently, thinking of I is pretty strong because we have supported it continuously. We don't have that much experience with bodhicitta. But our nature of mind is bodhicitta. So if we practice it, then egoistic mind will not longer remain. If our mind is water, then egoistic mind is like a foam. F-O-A-M, foam, right? Foam. When the sun of bodhicitta rises, egoistic mind will dissolve like foam into the water. Our anger and bodhicitta are also opposite. Because anger collects unhealthy winds in improper parts of the body. Bodhicitta sends healthy winds to the proper parts of the body. When unhealthy winds gathering in the heart, then our mind transforms into malicious mind. Our speech transforms into harsh words, and our action transforms into harmful ones. When bodhicitta arises in the mind, our mind becomes altruistic. Our speech becomes gentle, and our actions become beneficial for others. That's all. Thank you very much, and we dedicate together. Zunamde tamje zeba nye towa nye pe dana panzue ne jiga nanja balan draba zibun zolen droa droa joen jambar baga jodaran jamba dan kundo zambo de ande de da gunje jizo da lo je gewan da da danje rabdo. May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much.